Hey guys, welcome to another video. Nitric supports several languages, and thanks to the amazing contributions from the Nitric community, we are especially excited about the version 1 release of our Go SDK. This enables Go developers to easily create and deploy scalable, secure applications on any cloud directly from your Go code. Sounds easy, right? Let's dive into a quick getting started demo to show you just how simple it is. So I've already installed the Nitric CLI, so let's scaffold a new Nitric Go project. Let's give it a name and choose Go as our runtime. Okay, all generated. Let's open up VS Code and I'll show you this Hello World example. Okay, so you can see the project files on the left. We have our services, Go mod file, a Docker file, and a Nitric YAML file. If we go into the Nitric YAML file, you can see that we're using a custom runtime called Go. This simply points to our Golang Dockerfile template. This Dockerfile provides a solid starting point for deploying Go applications with Nitric. But hey, feel free to customize it according to your application's needs. So now, for our app code, let's go into the services directory. You can see we have a Hello service. And inside, we have an API called main. There is a get route defined that takes in a path parameter called name and simply returns this to the sender. So let's have some fun. Let's try it out in the Nitric local environment. Open up the terminal and run Nitric start. Once our services start, the local dashboard will pop up in your default browser. Welcome to the Nitric local dashboard. Let's test this API by using the API Explorer. I'll enter the path param and click send. Nice, it works. Now I want to see what this architecture looks like. We can do that by viewing the real-time architecture tool. The main API resource is routing to the Hello service. Super simple. This tool helps you understand your cloud application's architecture, optimize performance, and ensure correct component interactions. Now let's view a slightly more complicated example, an event-driven URL shortener app with pub/sub messaging. This app has multiple services that share resources. So I've created a resources package for this. In here we have the main API, the URL key value store, and notify topic for publishing and subscribing when a URL is added. Okay, so let's look at our first service called shortener. You'll notice that we are importing the shared resources package and defining the specific permissions required for this service. Defining them in the service is considered best practice to prevent permission leak. The URL's KV store needs set and get permissions, and the topic needs the published permission. Onto the API. Here we define a post route called shorten. This will take in JSON data that contains a URL, which then gets shortened by a generated code. Then we have some nice validation. Thanks, Copilot. The URL will need to get received later. So we store the URL data in the KV store with the shortcode as the key. Here we are publishing the shortcode and the URL data to the topic. This could be useful for notifications on Discord or Slack. Then lastly, we are returning the full URL with the shortcode. The next route is a GET request that simply takes in the shortcode as a path parameter and then redirects to the URL based on what is found in the KV store. Our last service, notify. As you might have guessed, this contains the topic subscriber. At the moment, it just prints the received message, but I've left a placeholder to remind me to finish this one off later. It's that time again. Let's fire up Nitric Start and test this app. To test the shorten route, I'll add a JSON payload to the body of the request with the URL of the Nitric docs. Let's submit. Nice, looks good. Let's test the shortcode redirect in the browser. Looking good. Okay, so let's make sure the topic has been published and received by the subscriber. Yep, we can see it in the history. I bet you are curious to see what this architecture diagram looks like. Let's check it out. The shortener service has 3 resources: the main API, the notify topic with published permissions, and the URL's KV store with write and read permissions. If we scroll down, you'll see the notify topic triggers the notify service. Okay, let's deploy it to the cloud. I've already created an AWS stack, so I'll use that and run Nitric up. As you are watching, you can observe your images being built and cloud resources provisioned in real time. Let's do a quick test in the cloud using curl. I'll do a post request to the shorten route and then check the redirect works. Great, all working. And that's a wrap. By leveraging Nitric, Go developers can focus more on writing application code while ensuring their infrastructure is robust, scalable, and compliant. If you want to give it a go today, install the Nitric CLI. Try out the example apps or check out the full source code for this demo linked in the description below. Nitric is free and open source. For questions or feedback, join our community on Discord.